Whether you're in a cozy apartment, a sprawling suburban house, or even just chilling in a dorm room, you're in a home. It's the most fundamental human need after food and water, right? But have you ever stopped to think about where our homes came from? I mean, really came from. We're not just talking about HGTV renovations here. We're going on a journey, from the very dawn of humanity, through bustling ancient cities, industrial revolutions, all the way to what our homes might look like in 100 years. This is the epic story of the evolution of the place we call home. In just a few minutes, you're going to see how our desire for shelter transformed from a simple rock overhang into smart homes that practically read our minds. You'll discover the surprising reasons why certain building materials became popular, how social changes shaped floor plans, and even get a glimpse into the futuristic abodes that could be waiting for us. So, hit that like button, subscribe World Untold if you haven't already, and let's dive into the fascinating history of our humble and not so humble dwellings. Our story begins, well, at the beginning. Picture this, 2.5 million years ago. Early humans, often called hominids, weren't exactly thinking about open concept living. Their homes were often temporary. Think natural shelters, caves, rock overhangs, or even just dense tree cover. The priority was survival, protection from predators and the elements. These weren't designed, they were found. But even then, there were glimmers of intentionality. Some archaeological sites show evidence of very basic windbreaks made from branches and animal hides. It was less about comfort and more about a strategic advantage in a harsh world. Fast forward a bit to the Stone Age, and we start to see the first true architectural innovations. People began using readily available materials like mammoth bones, tusks, and hides to construct more robust, if still temporary, shelters. Imagine a giant teepee made of bones. The real game changer: agriculture. Around 10,000 BCE, as humans settled down and started farming, the need for permanent shelter skyrocketed. Why move when your food source is rooted in the ground? This led to the development of the first true houses. Materials like mud, straw, and eventually sun-baked bricks became common. Early villages emerged, and with them, the concept of a community of homes. These were simple, often single-room dwellings, but they were a massive leap forward. Now, let's jump to the ancient world. Civilizations like Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome weren't just building impressive temples and pyramids, they were also innovating in residential architecture. In ancient Egypt, homes for ordinary people were often made of mud brick, designed to keep cool in the desert heat. The wealthy, however, lived in much grander affairs with multiple rooms, courtyards, and even primitive plumbing. The Romans, those masters of engineering, brought us multi-story apartment buildings called insulae to house their growing urban populations. They also gave us the luxurious domus for the elite, complete with frescoes, mosaics, and sometimes even underfloor heating. Talk about ahead of their time. They understood things like urban planning and sanitation, concepts that would be lost and rediscovered centuries later. The idea of a purpose-built kitchen, sleeping areas, and living spaces really started to take shape here. As empires rose and fell, so too did the styles and functions of homes. The medieval period saw a shift, especially in Europe. For most people, homes were small, often shared with livestock, and focused on practicality and defense. Feudal lords lived in castles, which were less about comfort and more about fortification. These massive stone structures evolved over centuries, becoming symbols of power and protection. After the Black Death, as populations recovered and new wealth emerged, we saw the rise of more sophisticated timber-framed houses. These were often multi-story, with jettied upper floors that created more space and protected the foundations. The Renaissance brought a renewed interest in classical architecture, influencing grand villas and country estates. Symmetry, proportion, and elaborate decoration became hallmarks of the homes of the wealthy. The Industrial Revolution, starting in the 18th century, profoundly changed everything, including our homes. Rapid urbanization meant a massive demand for housing in factory towns and cities. This era gave us the rows of identical terraced houses, built quickly and cheaply to house the working classes. They were often cramped, lacked sanitation, but represented a new kind of urban dwelling. For the burgeoning middle class, Victorian homes became symbols of status, often featuring multiple parlors, dining rooms, and bedrooms, reflecting a more compartmentalized family life. New materials like cast iron and glass allowed for larger windows and more decorative elements. Crucially, this era also saw the widespread introduction of modern plumbing, gas lighting, and eventually electricity, fundamentally changing how we lived within our four walls. The 20th century was an explosion of architectural styles and social changes that dramatically reshaped our homes. The early 1900s saw the arts and crafts movement, emphasizing handcrafted quality, and then the rise of modernism, with its clean lines, open spaces, and functional design, rejecting the ornamentation of the past. Think Bauhaus and Frank Lloyd Wright. After World War II, the suburban boom in places like America led to mass-produced, affordable housing. The dream home became a detached house with a yard, fostering the image of the nuclear family. The late 20th century saw a greater emphasis on personalization, energy efficiency, and the rise of technology within the home. The kitchen became less a utilitarian space and more the heart of the home. So, where are we headed? What does the home of the future look like? The trends are already here, and they're mind-blowing. Smart homes are no longer science fiction. We have AI assistants controlling our lights, thermostats, and security systems. Our homes are becoming connected, intuitive, and responsive to our needs. Sustainability is another massive driver. We're seeing more eco-friendly materials, passive house designs that require minimal heating or cooling, and homes that generate their own power through solar panels. Urban farming integrated into apartment complexes is even becoming a thing. Space is becoming a premium, especially in cities. This is leading to innovative solutions like micro-apartments, modular homes, and even expandable living spaces that adapt to our needs. Think tiny houses, but with even more clever design. And beyond Earth. Well, with talk of lunar bases and Martian colonies, the ultimate frontier for home building might just be off-world habitats. Imagine waking up with a view of the red planet. From a simple cave to a hyper-connected, sustainable, and potentially extraterrestrial dwelling, the evolution of the home is a testament to human ingenuity, adaptability, and our unchanging need for shelter, comfort, and a place to call our own. Our homes aren't just buildings, they're reflections of our societies, our technologies, and our dreams. And as we look to the future, one thing's for sure, the concept of home will continue to evolve in incredible ways. What do you think the home of the future will look like? What's your favorite era of home design? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through architectural history, hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating dives into the world around us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.